guys, welcome to Toasts and Ghosts. This is Megan, and tonight with me I have the wonderful Lindsay and Angel of Dark Hollow Paranormal. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Doing great.
Good, good. Welcome, welcome. So we have some fun stuff we're going to chat about. I see you have drink in hand, so you are ready to go.
Absolutely ready to go.
We'll hit
Salute
that.
to
We'll
everyone.
hit that. Yeah. Little toast. We'll hit it later and discuss what you're drinking because I'm interested. But just give me a little rundown about who you guys are, what you do, and where you're at.
You doing?
Me. We are Dark Hollow Paranormal. We do a lot of private investigations. We go live a lot. We like to host events, invite guests out to join us.
Absolutely. Teach people how to all the fundamentals of the paranormal field.
That's
and
awesome.
how to bring light to different locations that people don't usually hear about.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I follow you guys on Facebook. I have for a little while. I see there's some locations that I've seen you guys at a lot. Is there anything new or in the works? What's been going on?
The Liberty Theater. We've really been killing that. That's like our main spot right now for our
Yeah, they've asked us to start taking over hosting the public events there. So we're going to start hosting a lot more public events at that location.
Haunted Liberty Theater.
That's awesome.
Yep, in Nanny Grove, Pennsylvania. So
Yeah, that's really cool. So East Coast, do y'all have a website other than the Facebook where you post events that you're hosting?
Not yet, but it's in the works. We're trying to work
Absolutely.
on a website.
Heck
so
yeah.
basically we've been doing a lot on TikTok.
I was gonna say I've definitely seen you on
Oh
TikTok.
yeah, we've been absolutely blowing it up on TikTok. So yeah, it's been going good. We're getting it out there. You know, people are able to follow us and locate us, watch our lives, like all the good stuff.
Good. And I'll make sure I tag your pages in this post too, so anybody that's watching can find you guys if they don't already know you, which would surprise me.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I have some notes. I wanted to hit just a couple different things. What got you involved in the paranormal? How did you guys end up here? How did we get here? Tell me how we got here.
So I was born and raised in a Hispanic household, and so spirituality was very prominent, very prominent.
Big.
I was encouraged to welcome the spirits in, talk to them, have no fear. And then being from Virginia in a Civil War area, I mean, we had all the stories. Urban exploring was number one. It was key.
Oh yeah.
Long story short, for me, I became a trainer to a ghost hunting company I used to previously work for, and teaching people how to paranormal. People, teaching people how to ghost hunt was my niche, was my thing. And then
it sure was.
I ran across paths with this pretty little lady.
You did.
You could fill in the rest of that
Good
story.
job, Angel.
Yeah, well done.
So for me, I grew up loving all things spooky. I've loved Halloween, ghost stories for as long as I can remember. But my first experience happened when I was 6 years old and I moved into a new house with my family, and we started experiencing things in the house. And so from there, my love for it just grew, because then I was like, now I need to know more about it. Like, this is awesome. I'm experiencing this. Now I need to know more, and I don't want to be afraid of it anymore. So I want to know as much as I can. And then I joined different paranormal groups throughout the years, and then I started Dark Hollow in 2014. Did some collaborations with a couple other groups, and then I met Angel up at Crescent, and asked him and a couple others to join forces with Dark Hollow Paranormal, and we kind of revamped it, and we started at that point hosting events, because up until that point we weren't doing events. We were just privates. We were doing some lives. But once I met Angel and I met a couple other people, I was like, I want to get into this. I want to start hosting. I really like this. I didn't realize I had a love for entertaining people and teaching people about it.
Yes,
so I'm like, I want to do this. Let's start doing this. And so
that's a whole other side of it too, you know, when you're working and teaching people. It is a lot of fun. Yeah, that's awesome. So
a lot of people don't hear about that.
Yeah, that's a fact. So before I hop to my next question, you said you had your first paranormal experience when you were 6 years old, and you wanted to then learn more. You weren't like terrified. What kind of experience was it that made you more interested than,
Oh,
you
I
know,
was
how did like
absolutely,
the people
I was
around you handle that, you being so young?
So I was absolutely terrified. It started out in our house with like footsteps and doors opening and closing, audible voices. Usually a man voice is what you would hear. Um, and then we even had like this one wall in the house where pictures would just fall off of it. The nail would still stay in the wall, but the picture itself, it was like someone would just like pick it up off the wall and just drop it. And it didn't just happen to me, it happened to my mom.
Yeah.
It happened when I had friends over. I had friends that would report like I feel like I'm being stared at. Somebody's in your room and they're staring at me. And other family members would experience that. My brother did, my mom did. My parents initially tried to like brush it off for the longest time. But the
Yeah.
older I got, it was harder to brush off because the older I got, like the more prominent things were. Because
Yeah.
we started experiencing like poltergeist activity when I was a teenager. And of course, like with teenage hormones, you're feeling that energy. And of course,
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
you didn't get that power. So by the time I was a
Yeah.
teenager, we were having furniture levitate. We had
Oh,
a tank basement that just picked up, like lifted up in the air and just scooted across the room. And of course, my mom can't debunk that. How do you debunk that at that point? And so my mom knew the whole time that there had been an older gentleman that had passed away in the home. And
yeah.
she kept it from me and my dad because she was terrified to tell us because we were already experiencing things. So she kept it from us until many years later after we moved out of the house. I had my mom come with me to a public event that somebody else was hosting. And I bumped into a medium there. We started talking and he starts telling me, he's like, you've had experiences. Tell me about your experiences growing up. And so I tell him, and he says, yeah, it was a male spirit. And I'm sensing breathing problems. And my mom's standing beside me and she gasped. She goes, and I said, what? She said, I never told you this, but there was a man that died in the house of black lung because he worked in the coal mines. He died of black lung in the living room of the house.
Wow.
That was
That's wild. Yeah, that's intense. So everyone around you also like knew about what was going on, and oh my gosh. Yeah,
Yeah.
so family affair. That's crazy. Holy cannoli. Yeah.
I've heard it from
Yeah.
other fans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
would,
they did the same thing. It was yeah, I can imagine.
yeah,
That's pretty-
no. Yeah, that's a game changer. Game changer for sure. So as far as profound paranormal moments go, I'm sure that's probably one for you for sure.
Yeah.
Are there any other moments for either of you that just completely changed your entire perspective of this crazy world that we live in?
I'll let
Absolutely.
you go first.
So yeah, this is
Because they
two,
tie in together.
yeah, this is like
Oh
such an amazing.
man.
They
Okay.
happen at different times, but they tie in together. So go ahead.
So I'm running at Crescent Sanatorium Prison, and there's this one building called F, and it's known for just its like darker side of the paranormal. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like more like aggressive side, like just very dominant, right? And long story short, where I'm on if you're looking at the building, there's a left tier, right tier. I'm on the left side on the top. It's the more decrepit looking, everything's falling apart, plasters off the walls. And we got a group of like 14 or 15. Old friend of mine, Beth Moore, was with me. And we have another girl, Brittany.
I
She's
love
with
her.
yeah, and I'm sitting at the edge of the hallway like I usually do by myself.
Yeah.
It's very like it's very heavy feeling, like it's just kind of dark, like everyone's got that feeling like you're on edge, nervous, something's gonna happen. Long story short, at the edge of the hallway, it was the best way I've ever described it was it's like a movie. It's like something slaps its hands on the ceiling and comes around the corner, and it's like I say it all the time. It's like a human tadpole. It's like arms, It's like pale looking. It looks like it just has a tail, like it's like a crawler, just a creature. And it comes into the hallway and it kind of like it's on the ceiling and it lowers itself down. I kid you not. And it's like face to face, right? The feeling I got, I've never gotten this feeling before until that very moment. Okay. And it's an addictive feeling after this. Excuse me. It was like when you hear someone say like challenging, like someone like I'm in your face. What are you gonna do about it? And I
Oh my
remember
God.
calling down to the group. I said, "Hey, there's a. I know this sounds
Here's the
funny, but
creature.
in front of me right now." And
Yeah.
Beth Moore, great medium that I know, that we know,
Yeah.
she says, "I'll never forget it. I know Angel, and it has red eyes. It had these piercing red eyes, right?" And we ended up leaving. That was from that moment on, I've like forever been in that location searching like what it was. And then here comes you.
Oh my
Several-
gosh. Wait, so you never
Excuse me.
saw it again.
Did we lose
You
the audio?
left. You left right after that? Like right after that happened?
Oh, we lost the
Uh-oh.
audio.
Did we lose audio?
No kidding.
Can you hear me?
We definitely did.
No, I can't hear you.
Can you hear us? You can totally hear us?
Can you hear me now?
We're on there.
Oh no,
Can you hear me?
no. Oh,
Wait, you're back.
Okay.
I think.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
you're back.
You're back.
Look at that. You called it. That's funny. Well, it's perfect. It's perfect
That's
because I
weird.
had a moment and then I'm running an event one night. I'll just say this about her story. I'm running an
Yeah.
event one night, same thing.
Yeah.
Jackie Hurts with me.
Mhm.
Drew might be there.
Yeah.
And all I hear is two girls, and Melissa Callie was there. All I heard was two girls ran out of the chapel and left in the middle of rotations. And I'm like, you know how it is being the head. You're like, oh my God, like incident report, what's going on?
Exactly. Yeah.
I come down and I see this piece sitting on a chair, completely blank faced. And then she proceeds to tell me her experience. So
Yeah. So we were there one night when there was at least 100 people there that night.
we had 118 people that night.
And I wasn't working
yeah.
for the company, but I was a volunteer for Crescent. So I was up there a
Yeah.
lot. So I'd work
Yeah.
a lot. Night, like I'd been up there so many times when, Ghost Hunts USA was up there and stuff. And so I've been
Yeah.
up there so much, like I'm not usually scared of Crescent, right? And so I
Okay.
heard about the story like months prior. And so I'm in the
It
chapel.
was like 2 months before.
So I'm in the chapel watching a rotation, and my friend Vanessa's with me. And Vanessa grew up in a church. Her dad was a pastor. And she's sitting there, and we're playing a religious song. I can't remember what it was, but it was a religious song. And all of a sudden, Vanessa starts rocking and breathing very heavily. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? She's like, I feel very uncomfortable. She says, my dad one time did like an exorcism of some kind in her church. She says, that feeling is familiar to me right now. Like I have that same heavy feeling. I'm like, okay, that's weird. And I just sit there, like brush it off. And I'm looking at the stage, and on either side of the stage is doorways. And then like these little like cutouts on top, like triangle cutouts. And I just happen to glance up and I see giant hands, long fingernails come out from the triangles. I grip the doorway, and then all of a sudden I see this head like pop up, and I'm like, what am I seeing right now? And it crawls out and onto the ceiling, and it is almost exactly like Angel described. It had no legs, it just had like a tail.
Oh my God. I have like full body goosebumps.
Strong, beefy arms. Now he saw it with red eyes. It didn't have any eyes to me at all.
Which made me feel good because I'm like, it's when you have someone that's like, oh, I saw the exact same thing. Like to hear that at least she saw something super similar, but like its own characteristics.
Yeah, it like could have been the same whatever entity
Yeah.
that just showed itself to both of you differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was fucking mind blowing. Mind blowing.
I
Like
took
it.
off running. I got up and I ran. I
Yeah.
didn't care what a sissy I looked like in front of the group of people that were in there. I was out,
Mhm.
you know.
I'm
I've
happy to
invested-
run. When you gotta run, you gotta run. Sometimes it happens.
No shame, right?
I was
Yeah.
out, and we're standing outside the chapel trying to like process what we saw. And as we're standing there talking, it crawls out the back door and onto the roof. Now, at this point, I start to lose time. And I don't remember a lot of what happens at this point. Vanessa said that I became nonverbal and I just started staring. And I was saying, why isn't anybody else seeing this? That was the only thing that I would say is, why isn't anybody else seeing this? And I was crying. And she was trying to get me to walk with her. And I said, my feet feel like they're in cement. I can't move. So she tries to pull me down to the visitor center. We eventually get down there. And I do remember bits and pieces of walking down to the visitor center. And I remember saying to her, I said, I feel like it's on my back, like it's riding my back. And I can almost feel it breathing on my neck.
Like you were like way down. Yeah.
And I was like, we've got to get out of here. So we get down to the visitor center. We go out to the car and grab sage. And we immediately started staging ourselves. And as she's staging me, you hear a growl off in the distance.
That's what sold me to that. I was like, holy crap. And then we had multiple people, different groups come after hearing these stories, these accounts. And they're like, hey, like I took a SLS down into the tunnels, which the building I saw this entity and she did is connected by this tunnel system. And sure enough, they're like, hey, I had an SLS down there and I captured something, but it's weird. It was like crawling on the ceiling. And we're like, holy shit. And then like we have there was a full-time employee of President. Their name is Al Becker. Shout out, I'm saying, great investigator.
Yes.
We were there one night and Al was like very distraught in the building at one point. Like they were wiping their eyes, like kind of like getting their shit together. And we're like, what's going on? And I mean, they were like, I saw something like in the doorway, but like, I don't know if my eyes were tricking, but all I saw was like red eyes staring back at me. And we're just like, holy shit. Like,
even recently, we run the publics and the privates at Liberty Theater in Antigua. And we had a group come in that we let in for a private, and we just started bullshitting just like this.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh yeah, they started talking about Crescent. They knew we had worked at Crescent, and the one guy sitting there and he said, Crescent's what made me a believer after I saw that thing crawling in the chapel.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's like you know what I'm saying? Like it's just
so
one
there's
of those
like
things
there's
where it
multiple
gets you.
stories.
Oh, we lost you again.
Did we lose audio?
There you go. Hold on. Say something.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Oh yeah, we did.
I think there's like a small lag.
There's a small glitch. That's it. But that's crazy though. I know you just explained all that.
Yeah. Small glitch. We'll go with that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so multiple stories of this same creature from different people. That's insane. I mean, I couldn't imagine any better evidence of something like that. Just so many different people having the same type of really like fucked up experience.
Once apart. That is the one moment that has changed everything. Like everyone has their moment. I've always said that.
Yeah.
Has their moment, right? Like that everyone does.
Yeah, for sure.
That was the one shit that like really changed everything.
Yeah.
And then to share it with her.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you have something crazy happen and like there's always gonna be people that are like, are you for real? Like, you okay? Like, was it something? Was it this? Blah blah blah, blah blah blah. But then to have so many people, and then people that you never even met that tell you a story of the same shit.
And their variation is different too. That guy said that his looked like a nurse crawling on the ceiling.
Oh, that's just as bad.
This is terrifying, right? Like,
if not worse. That's terrible. Yeah.
And I got talking to a psychic about it one time, And she was telling me, just by me, like, just
Rod.
telling her about it.
Rod.
Yeah.
Rod Fee, that when we were all working for the same company, his wife.
His wife. I got talking to her about it at Paracon, and I was like, man, I'd love, Penhurst. I said, I would love for you to come because we have this thing that crawls, and I wish that somebody would tell us what it is. And without me saying anything more, she just kind of like looked at me, and then she started describing it to me. She goes, does it have long fingernails? And I was like, I didn't even
thebomb.com.
I was like, I didn't even tell you that. And so she starts talking, we start talking about it. And she's like, I think she said it's like a shapeshifter. She said it's all the negative
self-manifestation
of all the negative energy created a conscious being. And she said it's a shapeshifter. It looks different to different people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wow.
That's crazy. I mean,
Yeah. No, it was wild. It was wild. It's
Crescent's been on my list of
you know
places that I want to go, and now I'm like, not a huge.
We lost you again.
Oh my god! What in the world?
No.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
we got your picture back.
We got your picture back, but not audio. It's so weird.
Can you hear me now?
No. This is the greatest lip reading, though. I do gotta say, every time you question it, we're like, yeah.
Yep. Pretty classic. Okay, let's see. Can we do here? Hold, please.
Long there, you're good. Take your time.
Oh wait.
Oh wait.
Did you get me?
Yep,
Got you now.
back.
Yeah.
This is the strangest thing ever, y'all. It's like, and it's always when I go to start like talking about whatever it is we're talking about. Okay, so on that note, what are you drinking? What you drinking on tonight?
Oh, so my classic whiskey and Coke, some Evan Williams.
Yep.
Green Baileys.
I love that. Love that. And you drink that by itself?
Yeah, it's straight.
Yeah. With like, do you drink it cold or with like ice?
Yeah, it was in the freezer, and then I just stuck like an ice ball in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I'm down with that. I've just got some Riesling, some white wine, nothing crazy. So you guys have something fun planned. I'm gonna
Yeah, we do.
have this, be my last question for y'all tonight, but I really would like to hear more about this this adventure that you guys have, this lifelong adventure that you guys have planned.
So we are getting married this August 3rd.
Beautiful.
And we're doing it at
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. We're doing it Haunted Galitzin Ballroom. It's actually a place that we run events at and everything like that, and they're completely blessing us with the whole setup. And
That's amazing.
Over 100 years old.
Yeah.
Legends like Johnny Cash,
Frank Sinatra, Louis Armstrong's performed there. Mafia ties. They were cleaning the basement randomly one day and found a cargo box full of old Tommy guns that the mobsters use. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like this is like legit shit. Like it's awesome location. And
they actually contacted us. They were like, "Hey, we think it's haunted. Will you please come out?" And
that was like our first big. That was like our first big like breakthrough moment. Like we were like, we got the fucking call. We got the Ghostbusters call.
That is so cool.
And then they called us, and I was like, "Yeah, like we'll come check it out. Like, what would you charge?" And they're like, "No, just please, just come check it out."
Yeah, like they were legit. That was like our one stuff. So like we go. It's funny. It's because we were planning everything. I didn't even realize like that was our one location that called us. You know, and so we're gonna go ahead.
Activity.
Yeah, absolutely crazy activity. We have a whole lot of videos on our Facebook, YouTube from that place. I mean, everyone tune in and but yeah, so we're gonna talk there, and then afterwards we have a week-long paranormal honeymoon planned out. 4 locations, 5 days. We're gonna disclose these locations probably within the hour of actually getting there. And
Just hook up
So
our camp.
surprise stops.
surprise spots. And we can at least say we're gonna start on the East Coast. We're gonna be right there, dead in the middle of the Midwest, and make our way back to the East Coast again.
Oh my God. Oh
Big
my
name,
God.
big name locations.
Mhm.
All major ghost hunting TV shows are gonna have been to all of our locations that we're going.
Okay. So what
We're-
well-known places that are like big. Okay.
Absolutely. And we're gonna be recording as much as 24/7. We're capturing the whole moment, hooking up our camper,
I'm gonna
and
vlog it out.
we're gonna
Yes.
go.
Oh my
We're
God.
gonna
That is so
yeah, that's the big thing. So this year
yes.
we got huge things coming. We got events every
Yeah.
month. We got events every month. We just got accepted into Penhurst Paracon. We're gonna be one of the vendors there.
That's so cool. Oh my
It's
God.
huge, you know what I'm saying? And we got a
Yes.
great spot with them underneath the tent with all the speakers, so we'll be able to meet everyone, hang out with everyone.
That's so cool. That is so cool. Good for you guys. That's fun.
It's a blessing.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, congratulations on y'all's engagement. And I'm sure everybody's looking forward to hearing and seeing more about this little paranormal honeymoon. It's the coolest thing ever. You guys might be trendsetters. I almost wish that I wasn't married so I could go do that, because that's like so cool and so fun. But yeah, I'll be looking forward to that, and I'll make sure that I link you guys down below so anybody that watched or listened can come back and find you guys and follow along. So before we go, let's hit a little toast. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight, guys. It was a wonderful time. We will see you later. Thing that's been blinking and flashing on my screen for like the past 2 minutes, and I have no idea what it is.
You know, every time you went to go ask a big question,
Yeah.
Audio.
it would cut off, and I was just like, "No shit!" And then after like the third time, I was like, "Man, you got it going on, Chica, because something's crossing you out big time."
I'm telling you. Yeah. Yeah.